Hi guys, it's Amy. Today we're doing something super fun and I'll be revealing what's in my bag. A lot of you guys have been asking what kind of equipment I use and what kind of specs I have, and I'll be revealing those. I wanted to keep it nice and short and fun, so I divided it into 3 parts: irons, fairway woods and driver, and putter. So today let's start with the irons, shall we? So if you look over here, this is the current set I'm using, Honma set. I got these beginning of this year in 2018, and right before this set I was using ones over here. This is the Bridgestone set. I got them a long time ago in like 2010 or 2011. This was the last set I used before I retired from touring professional career. So these two are completely different personality clubs, so I believe today's video is going to be super fun. Okay, start with the older ones. So if you look, this is the Bridgestone set, J40 dual pocket forged. I believe they don't make these anymore, but the characteristics of these is that it's kind of like a blaze style, but with a slightly bigger head. It's a little bit more forgiving. But compared to cavity backs, you know, it feels a lot nicer because it's forged head and I'm able to shape shots better. These serve me really well. I had about 4 hole-in-ones with these, so really good. Okay, if you look at the shaft, this is men's NS Pro 850 stiff shaft. Once I stopped playing and I had back issues and I stopped practicing, and I don't work out as hard as I used to before, and I started losing a lot of my golf muscles, and that resulted in this becoming too stiff and too heavy of a club for me. So I started losing distance. I lost anywhere from 15 to 20 yards, and that was like no fun. You guys know how that feels, right? So I had an opportunity to get fitted for Honma clubs, and I just basically told him, I was like, don't treat me as a touring professional. Forget that I'm even a professional. I need something that won't hurt my body, won't be harsh on my body, and something that's very forgiving and perform just by itself. And this is what I got. I got the Perez IS06 3 stars. Super excited about this one. I used to never put head covers on my irons, but these are quite expensive, so I don't want any dings on them. So now I understand why a lot of people use these head covers for the irons. Okay, so some characteristics on this club is that it's forged. I love the feel, and they made the irons long irons with bigger heads, so it's more forgiving and it's less intimidating to look at from the top view. And also the funny thing is they fitted me to a stock shaft, 50 grams, 55 grams, super light shaft with a regular flex. Last time I remember using a men's regular flex was in middle school, high school. I started using men's clubs ever since I was like 11, 12. And so I was very concerned. Light and whippy means I'll probably lose the ball, like flare them at the end of the flights. But as you know, Honma is super famous for their hand-rolled shafts, especially on the Perez clubs. So the flights were holding really nicely and they're very piercing, and I could almost like not look at the ball and swing at it. It kind of does its own thing. I love it. I grew up playing the Perez ever since I was very little, and then I went over to Callaway's, over to Bridgestone, and then I'm back with Honma. And my body remembers these clubs, you know, so I am really satisfied with these. So the only difference is after 9 irons. So Bridgestone clubs, I had 4 irons all the way up to pitching wedge in the dual pockets. And then I had J40, same model, gunmetal, wedges 52 degree and 58 degree. But with the Honmas, after 9 iron, they don't have pitching wedge. They go 10 iron, 11 iron, which is super different, right? So 10 would be like a pitching wedge and 11 would be like a gap wedge, except the 11 iron loft equals my pitching wedge in this set. 46.5 here, 46 degrees here. So I ended up putting in my regular 52 and 58 degrees over here. Nice gap, so my distances are perfect. But since there's an extra club in the wedge, I had to take out my 4-iron. So there's a gap between my 5-wood and 4-iron, and we found something right in the middle. I'm going to reveal that in the next episode, but let's stick to irons. So basically with the wedges, I just got regular NS Pro 950s instead of wedge shafts because the weight is a lot heavier on the wedge shafts, and then now it creates too much of a gap between my irons and the wedge shaft, right? So I just got something a little lighter. So a lot of people ask what kind of clubs they should be purchasing. It's a very tough question to answer. When my students ask me this, I usually first ask them their budget and how long they're planning on keeping them. And if they're a beginner, then I would say, if you're strong, I would say let's go with American brands. But if you're kind of weaker, then I would suggest Japanese brands. But Japanese brands tend to be a little bit more pricey. So it really all depends on your budget and how much of golf you're gonna be playing. I usually suggest getting used set, so that way you can get your swing going, and then you'll probably come up with a preference of a brand you wanna, purchase down the road. So yeah, that's my answer for that. Please let me know what kind of clubs you're playing with, and if you have any more questions on my irons, please come to my website's Ask Aimee section. Leave your questions and comments there. Get back to you guys on that. Thank you guys for watching. Keep an eye out for my driver and putter episodes. See you guys in the next video.